I was on a date with somebody. They didn't know that I had a dog until like it came up on the date. She was like, "Oh, thank you so much for not like advertising your dog on your dating app profile because so many guys do that. I think you're the only guy that has a dog that hasn't advertised them on your dating app profile." I was like, "Wait, really?" Hello, and welcome to Situaseans Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Michael Williams, aka seanydoo. You can call me Sean, Shawnee, seanydoo. Does not matter to me. I'm just glad that y'all are here. And my special guest is glad that y'all are here. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see that I have my production assistant, aka the show's mascot, Harley the Husky. Hey girl, who's your good girl? Who's your good girl? Yes, you are. Yeah, it was a tough time getting her to sit on this couch with me. So I had to kind of put on a leash and kind of guide her like, come on girl, get on the couch. Come on. And you might be wondering like, why do I have my dog, as a guest on the show? Well, the reason being is because, this episode, I want to talk about, being a pet parent and going on dates. But before I get into that, I want to kind of, cover the general housekeeping stuff. Hey, girl, yes. Want to give me Paul? Yes, good girl. Yeah, so I hope Harley will stay on this couch with me long enough. Who knows how long she'll stay up here. But I just want to appreciate you all for listening to the show. Thank you so much to the listeners. Whenever you listen to the show and share it with your friends, your families, your coworkers, anybody that will listen, share it with the group chat. Like all of you out there have a group chat. I know it. And so share it with your group chat. Be like, hey, I got a new podcast here. If you're going through anything, doesn't have to be about dating. It could be about anything in life in general, because this is a podcast that covers, anything that we do in life. So if you got a life experience that you or somebody in your family is going through and want to share anonymously, listen to this podcast and submit it, So if you want to submit, situationspodcast.com/submit. That's how you can submit whatever it is that you're going through, and I just appreciate all the love that you all have been showing as this podcast grows. And so, I want to encourage you all to also sign up and join the Patreon. When you join the Patreon, you are helping independent creators like myself put out good content for you all to consume, share, listen to, learn from, etc. So, and you can get started for less than the price of a cup of coffee, $3. I mean, come on. So yes, if you really want to, join Situations, Patreon, then you can get there by going to patreon.com/situationspodcast. So I appreciate it in advance. And to those of you that are already on the Patreon, thank you so very much. It's people like you that keep this show going. And yes, the Patreon has all the screenshots, the stuff that I go through, the dating app stuff, the red flags that, that I've dealt with, screenshots from, an ex. So yeah, if you want all the juicy content, go over to the Patreon. And we got merch as well. So if you want to get the latest swag, then go to situationspodcast.com and click on the merch tab, and there you can get your merch. All right. And then, don't forget, if you are going through something and you're on a date and a guy is like, saying I love you on the first date and y'all don't even know each other, or if someone is, kind of just like not even like responding, or if they are responding, they're sending unsolicited texts or nudes. That's an ick. So go to situationspodcast.com/ick, and that's how you can submit your ick stories, situations, dilemmas, what have you. So yes. And so kind of, getting back to it. And also I just want to say, again, today we're going to be talking about dating as a pet parent. Those of you that have pets, you understand that it's not easy all the time trying to make sure that you're giving enough time to our furry loved ones, or, reptilian loved ones, whatever kind of pet you have. But yes, being a pet parent and also trying to manage your time while you're going out on dates, seeing people, hanging out, whatever it is. So, yeah, we're going to be unpacking that and, just kind of just like things that you can do to make sure that you're not neglecting your pet, because we took on our pets for a reason. None of us birthed our pets. I mean, if someone's out there and they ended up birthing an animal, listen to the show, and submit to the show, because we would like to hear that story. Thanksgiving is tomorrow. By the time this episode comes out, Thanksgiving will be the next day. So I just want to say, we're in a time machine right now because we always record in advance, but I'm so grateful for all of you. So I kind of just want to talk about that, the things that I'm grateful for. And first and foremost, that's you listeners. I'm so grateful for you. You all make this podcast. This podcast does not live on without your support, your communication, everything that you do whenever you are sharing and just submitting to the show. So I want to thank you all first and foremost. I'm just thankful for the opportunity to have this platform. Those of you that know me know that I've gone through so much in life. And so the fact that I'm still here and I'm able to share with you all on such a personal level, that means the absolute world to me. And the support that I've gotten from so many of you about just being vulnerable, I appreciate that as well. And, I'm just so grateful for all my guests so far that have come on to the show and my future guests that I have coming on to the show. And I got some really good guests coming on. Like these guests are public figures, and so I'm excited for you all to get to know some of these guests. And some of these guests maybe you have heard from or know about. It's a small world, and some of these guests you may have already seen somewhere in the media. So so I'm trying not to give so much away because there's just some final things we just gotta lock in for one of the guests. But for the most part, the guests that I have coming onto the show that have been locked in, I'm so excited for y'all to listen in and watch those episodes with those conversations, because I really appreciate the guests because they're putting they're taking their valuable time to come on to this show and talk with me and unpack things together. So I really want to call out the fact that it's important to support the arts, in every shape and form, because the arts is what keeps us all entertained. This thing that you're listening to, or if you're watching on YouTube, this is an art form. So support the arts. We appreciate when you all support the arts. See, even Harley said, yeah, right? Exactly. She just said, support the arts, right, Harley? Yes, support the arts. Yes, good girl. And Harley actually had a birthday, so she just turned 6. So let's wish a happy birthday to Harley as well. So she's getting old. She's what was it, 42 in human years, so or dog years. So So anyway, kind of not getting thrown off track, because whenever I'm hanging out with Harley, it's always a good time, and I always just get so lost just playing with her and just just making baby noises like cookie because she's a good girl. But anyway, kind of jumping back to it, and I'm just thankful for the friends that I call family, because a lot of you that have listened in for some time now know that I'm not close with my family as I would like to be, and that's immediate and extended family. But I do love my family, but I'm not close with them. And so it's holidays. I don't really do holidays with family anymore, or anything like that. It would be nice to, we used to do things like that. The extended family used to do that back in the past, but there's just been so much drama and stuff like that. So I'm not really close with my family the way I would like to be. So I'm thankful for my friends that I can call family, because my friends have over the years taken me in, and I just really appreciate the fact that I still have people in my corner that do love me and that say they love me, and and nothing's better than the family that you choose, which is the friends and the people around you. So shout out to the friends and what do you call it? The friends that I call familia. So I appreciate it, and all the friends around in the different parts of the country that I that I get a chance to connect with, because I do have friends that kind of live all over, and I do try to visit whenever I can, or hang out whenever I can, or connect whenever I can. So yes, I appreciate you all. And I also during this time, and I know I'm a little bit late talking about this, but I've just been trying to wait until I can get better informed about what's been going on in the media. As you all know, the Israeli-Pakistani conflict that's going on, overseas and in the Middle East. I just want to say, I just want the violence to stop. That's all I'm going to say, because I'm not sitting here saying, oh, this one side is doing wrong or this side is doing wrong. And all I'm trying to say is just, stop the violence, stop the killing of innocent children on both sides. That's all I'm saying. We got to protect the women and the children, and I wish that I was able to say something about this a couple episodes ago, but I've just been trying to make sure that I'm giving a very thoughtful response and being sensitive to what's going on in the environment, because the last thing I would ever want to do is misspeak or make a certain group of people feel excluded or feel discriminated against, because I don't hate anybody. I don't have, any beef or a non-likeness for anybody. No, I love everybody. It doesn't matter what you identify as, your creed, your color, your race, your sex, religion does not matter to me. I just love all humanity, and we should all learn to love each other. So with what's going on overseas, I just want to say that I'm sorry for anybody that is listening or watching. I just want to say I'm really sorry, how this conflict is affecting, both sides. Is affecting, your family, your friends. If you've lost anyone during this conflict right now, I just want to say you have my and Harley's sincerest condolences. Anyone that's watching and listening, we all agree. We all are sharing the same sentiments that, yes, we are absolutely sorry. And, if there's anything that we can do to continue to make you feel supported, please let us know. And I know this is definitely not ideal timing, especially during the time of Thanksgiving, especially, now and with the holidays approaching. It's such an unfortunate time that the Pakistani and Israeli people are going through. But I just want to say I'm absolutely sorry. And I just wish for peace. I have a new series on social media going on called Hinge or Unhinged. So Situaseans podcast as a whole, there's a whole social media campaign going on. And what Hinge or Unhinged is, we're going to be putting up some posts of actual screenshots of the dating app prompts from the different, dating app profiles of people. So if you're on Hinge, Coffee Meets Bagel, Bumble, OkCupid, Tinder, whatever, if you come across a prompt that's unhinged, as in it's red flag, deal breaker, or it's hinged, meaning green flag, beige flag, send it in to situationspodcast.com/submit. We don't screenshot names or people's faces. It's just for fun and entertainment purposes only. Like if someone is putting something on their prompt and it's like something wild, like example, right here, you'll see on your screen. If you're watching on YouTube, like an example right here, like this one says, never will I ever total a third car. It's like, that's gotta be unhinged, right? Because it's like, damn, like you didn't learn after after maybe the second car, there's a third. So yeah. So if you have any unhinged dating app prompts that you want to share and submit it, and we'll post it on our Instagram page and our Facebook page. So yes, a social media campaign. I have no intention on stopping this campaign. Like so many of you have already been submitting, and oh my God, the hinged and unhinged dating app prompts y'all have been sending in. Oh my fucking Lanta. That shit is good. It's good content that y'all are submitting. So go all the way to fuck off. So keep on submitting your hinged or unhinged dating app prompts. And yeah, your submission will be featured on the social media. So it's an interactive campaign. I cannot wait to read and see your hinged or unhinged dating app prompt screenshots. Remember, we censor people's names and faces. We're not trying to go after anybody. We're just unpacking what it is that they put on their prompt that sticks out. So, yeah. So jumping right on into, and side note, I like how I'm saying jumping right on in, and it's like, over 10 minutes in, but we got to do the housekeeping. I like to keep it fresh and real and authentic with y'all. But yes, jumping into being a pet parent and dating as a pet parent. And some of you might think that that's a red flag or deal breaker by saying, oh, someone's a doggy dad or a cat mom or whatever have you. It's like, come on, y'all. It's not that serious. If somebody want to label themselves as a dog parent or a cat parent or a lizard parent or whatever, like animal parent, like, yo, let them. It's not your business. It's not like their animal is yours. If you're on the outside looking in, leave them the fuck alone. But anyway, yes. So I want to tell y'all about the story about how I got Miss Harley the Husky. So Harley was a quarantine pup. Well, she was 2 years old when I got her, so not much of a pup, but I got her during the height of COVID, literally during March of 2020 or April. Yeah, March, April 2020. And I got her from an Amish dog breeding farm. And unfortunately, she was abused and mistreated. And so it's very unfortunate, but kind of going back to how I came across this farm. So a friend of the Amish farm who is not Amish had posted online, was like, hey, my buddy is getting rid of these dogs. He's going to put them down. If anybody wants them, please reach out. So I reached out and I was like, hey, I'm interested. I want to come take a look at the Huskies that you have. And he gave me the information. And then I went to the farm to go, drove all the way out to Michigan, and yeah, got to see the dogs. And yeah, so unfortunately, Harley and her, siblings, they were all like, abused pups, and they were just afraid of people. They had scars on her. Harley had scars right here on her muzzle that since healed, you can't even see it anymore. And she had scars on her leg and on her hind leg. And she was just so, afraid of people. And when I got her and took her home for the first night, she was just so afraid. And I don't blame her, because it's like she's been abused her entire life. And now she's in a totally new environment, just taken away from her doggy siblings. And when I first got her, they gave me her papers and everything, her kennel, American Kennel Club, AKC papers. And basically what that is just, it's like a birth certificate, but for dogs, for those of you that don't have dogs or registered dogs, but registered pets. But yeah, so her name was Mrs. And I was like, she don't look like no Mrs. Do you, Harley? Yeah, I don't think so. Do you? Do you look like a Mrs.? Yeah, I don't think so either. So her name was Mrs. at first. And when I was trying to get her into the car, she took off. She just she slipped out of her leash and it was just gone. I was like, God damn, she took off like a Harley Davidson. And I was like, Harley, that's her name. And look how her ears just perked up when I said that. So she knows her name. She loves her name, right? Give me 5. Give me 5. Give me 5. Give me Paul. Oh, now you don't want to give me Paul. Give me Paul. High 5. There you go. Good girl. So yes, that's kind of how she got her name. So she was always afraid of people, afraid of, cars, the environment, the city, because she was, she grew up in a farm where it was just quiet, where I guess, for the lack, I guess not quiet, but I guess not like city noises. She, you know what I mean? Because it's out in the country. So she was just coming from a country environment into the city life. So just hearing bells, whistles, sirens, people yelling, cop cars, this, that, and the other, garbage trucks. She was like, nope, I'm not having it. She would pull and be like, I'm not going outside, or it was crazy. But then my vet, I took her to the vet, when I first got her and everything, and we got her on some anti-anxiety pills, fluoxetine, for those of you that are in the medical field or veterinarians. Yeah, so it helps with her anxiety. And so she still takes one a day, and it really did help it. She's definitely turned around. She's not as anxious anymore. She's very calm, calmer than what she was in the before times. And it took a while for her to get used to people. It took a while for her to get used to the environment around her. And she's definitely come out of her shell significantly. She's always loved other dogs and other cats. The only beef that Harley has is with squirrels. So, I mean, what dog doesn't have beef with a squirrel? So, yeah. But at the end of the day, I'm glad that I got her. I love her so much. And I got like at least another good, 10 years with her, because on average, or 8 to 10 years, depending on how long does Harley decides to stick around, that the universe will allow her to stick around for. So yeah. So that's how I got Harley. Dating with owning a pet is interesting. I just know that for me, I take pride in making sure that I have enough time for Harley, and I make time to make sure that I have enough time for the people that, I'm getting to know. And Harley gets lots of playtime. She gets lots of, treats and walks and all that. And I do, make sure that she gets, she gets to burn that energy out of her, whenever she can. So yeah, she's such a sweetie pie. I've definitely taken her on doggy play dates with other dogs, like at the, that's at the dog park, or even friends' dogs. And one time I took Harley on a doggy play date with somebody that I was seeing at one point, and their dog got along with Harley. It was a cool little like doggy relationship, and they were just buds. So it was definitely cool. So yeah, those of you that are pet owners, and you're, if you're going out on a date, or someone else has a dog or a cat or an animal, you two can connect on that and share that interest on the date. I mean, that's another thing that you can talk about on the date, like, do you have any pets? Can't tell you how many times that's happened to me on a date, where it's like someone asks, oh, do you have any pets? Oh, I have a husky. And it's kind of funny, because one time I went on a date with somebody that didn't know that I had a pet, because I don't really advertise it on my social media. I just have pictures. I'm sorry, I don't advertise it on my dating app profiles. It's just, just pictures of me. Because I'm trying to represent myself and make sure people know what I look like. I'm not trying to catfish anybody. So there are people that do have pictures of their dogs on their profile just to like get other people to respond or whatever. Like, men and women do this. A lot of men do this as well to get the ladies. Hey, look at my cute dog. But anyway, I was on a date with somebody, and they didn't know that I had a dog until like it came up on a date. And she was like, oh, thank you so much for not like advertising your dog on your dating app profile, because so many guys do that. I think you're the only guy that has a dog that, or a pet that hasn't advertised them on your dating app profile. I was like, wait, really? So it was kind of funny and cool to get like a nice little compliment like that. But yeah, there have been times when I've hung out with friends or going out on dates, and it's like, okay, I can't get home in time, and Harley needs a walk because it's time for her a walk. Because I try to walk her at least like, 3 times a day, just depending on like, when I'm home. Because Harley, she's really good about being home alone for a few hours a day, because some dogs can't do that. Some dogs are like loud and whiny, or get into stuff, or are destructive. Harley was destructive at first, but she, got over it really quick. But yeah. So Harley, she gets about 2 to 3 walks per day. And whenever I'm not able to be there on time to walk her during her scheduled hours, because let me tell you something about having a pet, especially dogs. Dogs run on a consistent schedule. You have to make sure that you're consistent with your pup, because if they're off their schedule or off a certain routine, then, they can have an accident, or they start having anxiety, or, they just feel uneasy. And animals can, they can kind of like pick up on that, or pick up on different things. Like, animals are definitely unique species, unique, life forms. But yes, so if I can't get home in time and I'm out with friends or I'm on a date, what I'll do is I'll have a walker come by to walk Harley, and that walker could be via Wag, the dog, care, like walking, sitting app. Shout out to Wag, if you're listening, sponsor the show. But so I'll have a dog walker come in, walker, or if it's like a somebody that I know, like a personal, friend or whatever, then yeah, I'll have them come by, get the key out the lockbox and, walk Harley and like, kick him a few bucks or whatever. So Harley's always taken care of whether I'm here or not. And then when I'm gone on vacations or trips, then, Harley, I take her over to somebody's house and they, dog sit for me. It's somebody that I met on one of the dog care apps. So I think it was Rover, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so Harley has somebody to care for her when I'm out on vacation and I can't be home. So yeah, you just gotta like make sure that the schedule that you have or whatever it is that you're doing, make sure that you put your living animals like taking into consideration your animals as well. So, make sure that they're good and taken care of. It's so funny because like, and I'm not giving timelines here, but there have been times where it's like, okay, if a woman has come over for the evening and she meets Harley, she like they're inner women like automatically fall in love with Harley because she's just so sweet. I mean, right, Harley, you're so sweet. And Harley gets all the attention. It's like, like, hello, I'm still here too. Hello. But it's all good. And then, when they leave for the night or the next morning or whatever, it's so funny because, they've been like, women that have come over or whatever, they've been like, all right, I'll see you later, Harley. You're such a sweet girl. Bye. And it's like, don't even say bye to me. It's like, okay, bye. So yeah, Harley, you got more game than I do. Like you a real one, Harley. Go all the way to fuck off, queen. Yes. See, Harley would agree. And so, yeah, now this is something like that kind of could get controversial, but let's say someone's pet doesn't like you or they just can't get comfortable with you, or the other person, your pet doesn't feel comfortable or does not like whoever it is that you're seeing. Now, that could be a red flag depending on the context because animals, like I said, they are good about sensing fear, sensing anger, sensing different emotions in humans. And in this case and in this context, if your pet doesn't like your significant other or the person that you're hanging out with or seeing or vice versa, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a red flag. But let's say, that person is giving off toxic vibes or toxic, aura or whatever, or just giving off red flags, then yeah, maybe your pet has picked up on something. But at the same time, this is kind of where it could be different. Now, if you have a pet, especially the best example that I can give here is a dog. If you have a dog that's protective, dogs are protective of their domain as in, where they exist. So if a dog is, if a dog is living in a house or an apartment or whatever, they're accustomed to that space, obviously. And if a new person comes in that they don't know, of course, the dog is going to be like, like, who are you? Like, that's what they're saying. Like, who are you? You're on my property. Like, you're around my owner. Like, get the fuck back. So yeah, if you have a dog that's protective, then that's a different story. It doesn't mean that the person that you're seeing is a red flag. It just means that, your dog is just protecting you because that's what either you trained your dog to do that, or your dog needs training, or your dog just has never been used to anybody else that's not family from the get. So there's so many different contexts, but I'm just saying from a high level overview and a high level like perspective. Yeah. If someone you're seeing is kind of giving off odd vibes and you can't really pick up on that, and you're dog or your cat or your pet is picking up on that as well, I don't know. You may need to evaluate and see if that person's worth having in your life, or, moving on to something better. So, take with that with what you will. For me personally, Harley, I love this girl. She's such a sweet, beautiful husky. And she is a fur ball of joy. I would never give up Harley for somebody else. If I was dating somebody and somebody was like, oh yeah, you need to give up your dog or whatever because I don't like her or something like that, I'd be like, shit, I'm getting rid of you first. Who the fuck are you, Harley? It's like, because at the end of the day, Harley was here first. Harley and I, we have gone through so much in our individual lives, and just having a dog like Harley is just so fucking cool. She's chill. She's quiet. You never even know that she's here. Like, my friends love her. My family loves her. But yeah, Harley comes from abuse and a traumatic past. I come from abuse and a traumatic past. And actually, Harley is an ESA, an emotional support animal. And the only reason why I did that was just because if you register your dog as a service animal, you don't have to pay pet rent. And like the place that I'm living in, they would have been charging me $100 a month for pet rent. I was like, nah, I'm gonna just register as a service animal, because there's no way that I'm paying $100 a month for Harley. At that point, I'd be like, Harley, you better get your ass out there and start making me some money and earn your rent. If that was the case, I love you, girl, but yeah, if I gotta pay for rent for you, girl, you better make me some husky puppies. Well, I guess you can't anymore because you're spayed, but you know what I mean, Harley. You'd have to go out there and, be in a dog show or something like that and make me some money. Earn your keep. No, but all jokes aside, I love Harley. I would never give her up for somebody that I'm seeing or a significant other or whatever. And if someone is telling you to do that, if someone is like, yeah, I don't like your cat or whatever, I don't like your dog or whatever, or your lizard, snake, hell, you can have a fucking tarantula. If the other person isn't vibing with it, then, that person isn't for you. Don't keep them around. Like, there's no point, So yeah, if you love your pets, then yeah, there are times when your pet comes first. Now, yes, I know this is going to be a controversial topic, but we don't value pets' lives the way we do human lives, which makes sense because humans and pets are different living beings, even though it won't be the same, if a pet dies, you can get another pet, right? If a person dies, you can have another baby or whatever like that, but it's not the same, it's not the same. But I'm just giving you like a example that some people do put their pets at a high level of value. And at the end of the day, this might be a hot topic or a controversial hot take, but you got to value human life first and foremost, but at the same time, you have to value your pet's life, because at the end of the day, you acquired your pet for whatever reason that you acquired your pet. Don't neglect your pet or treat them bad or abuse them or not respect them, because even though they're animals, they still deserve respect. I mean, humans, we're animals too. We deserve respect. Just because humans are the only animals that can talk and communicate like via language or whatever, and animals can't talk to us the same way humans can talk to each other, doesn't mean that you should just not give a fuck about your animal. You have to care about your animal. You got them for a reason. So care for them and love them. And if you don't have the time or capacity or the means to care for them, then don't get a pet. Just be by yourself. Don't bring your pet, or don't bring that pet into the equation. And on the flip side too, if you're with a significant other and none of you have ever had a pet before and you're bringing in a pet, or you want to get a pet, that's a different story, Now, of course, the pet was never in the equation from the beginning. So of course it's not like, oh yeah, my girlfriend wanted a pet she wanted like a dog or a cat, and I did it, so I got rid of her. Or you know what I mean? It's like I wanted a pet, but my girlfriend did not, and so because she did not, I got rid of her. Like, no. Like, don't do that. Just have a discussion. If it's in the cards for you both to have a pet, then get a pet. But if it's not, then don't. Or if one of you is so gung-ho about it, the other one is, they aren't sure, have a conversation about it, figure it out, and then maybe, one of you will come around, and if the other person's still like, no, then reassess it. Because if having a pet is that important to you, then you may have to have a deep conversation with the other person that does not want a pet and say, hey, I really want to have a dog or a cat or whatever animal it is. And I know that you don't, but this means a lot to me. And I was just hoping that we can have a conversation about it. And when you have that conversation and the other person's like, no, they're like, absolutely not. As tough as it sounds, that it's up to you to figure out, okay, well, do you want to continue on with that relationship? Like, which do you care more about, having a pet or having a relationship? So I can't tell you what to do. That's on you. But, I'm just giving some open-ended advice that, on how to navigate that, because it's tricky. But at the end of the day, there are so many animals out there that are being abused, killed, slaughtered. Like, all I'm saying is do your research before you get a pet. Have a conversation if you're living with significant others, roommates, or whatever. If you're by yourself, make sure that the place that you live in, you're able to accommodate and or transition your place to accommodate a pet or an animal. So I'm talking about domestic pets. I'm not talking about tigers, lions, and stuff like that. If y'all want to do some wild ass shit like that, then, do it. But again, those are non-traditional house pets or house animals. So, I mean, if you get mauled by a bear or a lion because you wanted one as a pet, I can't help you. But I'm just saying, generally, for those of us that want the typical domesticated animal in our home, it's our jobs to make sure that we take good care of them, because they are our pets. They're living beings that we care about. And there's so many animals out there that experience so many tragedies. Like, let's be kind to the animals and the living things that we care about, that we hold so dearly and closely to our lives. Today is a great day to start your own podcast. Whether you're looking for a new marketing channel, have a message you want to share with the world, or you just think it would be fun to have your own talk show, podcasting is an easy, inexpensive, and fun way to expand your reach online. Buzzsprout is hands down the easiest and best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. Your show can be online and listed in all the major podcast directories like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more within minutes of finishing your recording. Hey, can I let you in a little secret? So I use Buzzsprout to host Situaseans podcast, and let me tell you, it has been the easiest tool I've ever come across for publishing and running a podcast. Podcasting isn't hard when you have the right partners, and the team at Buzzsprout is passionate about helping you succeed. So come on, join over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout to get their message out to the world. Follow the link in the show notes, and that'll let Buzzsprout know that we sent you. And guess what? That gets you $20 credit if you sign up for a paid plan. And overall, that helps support our show. Let's create something great together. All right, so we got a listener submission. So we're going to go ahead and unpack that. Are you ready, Harley? Oh yeah, she's ready. So this listener submission says, "Hi, Sean. This is the story of how I met my girlfriend. This is back in 2021. I met my now girlfriend in this play we were doing called Scrooge and Marley, and we got to know each other for a while in there during rehearsals, which I thought was going good. I found out that we have a lot of similarities and that we both love theater and some of the shows that we like to watch, things like that. I asked her out sometime in February, and now that the show is done, we just hit it off. I'm completely happy with my girlfriend. This is my story. Signed, this is the one for me. Now that's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. This is the one for me. We really appreciate your listener submissions. Like I said, whenever you all submit your story, your question, it really helps this podcast grow. It helps people who are going through things, feel more inclined to share their story. So I just want to say first and foremost to the listener, thank you for being vulnerable and sharing that. And also the listener shared a really cute photo with their submissions. So yeah, of course, again, we block and censor people's faces and names and stuff like that. We don't give out people's identities. But if you look right here, this is this is a cute photo and kind of just describing it. Of course, like for those of you that are listening, it's a cute picture of two individuals. They're dressed for Halloween, and they're wearing one is dressed as Woody, the other's dressed as Jesse. So it's a cute little Halloween costume. And again, the faces are blurred. We don't, show faces or people's names or identities, But yeah, the listener felt comfortable enough to submit their an image along with their submissions. So yeah, we're just sharing this cute couple's photo. So yes, thank you so much to the listener for sharing that. Like, you two are just so cute together. And I just want to say, this is that's the perfect Woody and Jesse costume. I love it. Harley loves it too, right, Harley? Yeah, you love their outfit. Yeah. So yeah, it's so important. Like this submission literally just proves that it's so important to explore the connections and the people that you meet and the spaces that you exist in. So if you're doing theater, or if it's a hobby, wherever it is that you are, explore the connection. Like maybe that might lead to something, or if anything, it could be a very cool, close platonic friendship, or it could be something more. So you never know where love is going to come from. And so, yeah, just explore it. And this is something that my therapist told me that I kind of, hold on to and kind of go by. But my therapist recently told me, don't block your blessings. And basically what that is, like she's saying, don't be so quick to write someone off, or don't be so quick to, not explore something. If you like that person and they like you, the feeling's mutual, and you one of you or both of you kind of see something there, explore. You never know where that could lead. That could end up being your forever person. So it doesn't hurt to, explore those connections. And so, yeah, I like that phrase. So yeah, don't block your blessings. And yeah, go all the way the fuck off. We love your love story. So yes, go all the way the fuck off. And speaking of go all the way the fuck off, don't forget to get your go all the way the fuck off t-shirt. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it right here, youtube.com/@situationspod. And yeah, you can see the t-shirt right here. And here is the promo code to get 15% off it. If the promo code is for the people watching on YouTube. So if you want to know what that promo code is, subscribe, watch the YouTube channel, subscribe. You don't have to pay to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You just press the little follow button and subscribe to the YouTube. Now you're the first to know about whatever it is we got going on. But yes, get your go all the way the fuck off t-shirt. So, yeah. And, so I just want to say again to the listener, thank you so much for submitting your story. Such a beautiful story about how you two met. And I'm so excited for you all, the listeners that are listening, and the viewers that are watching. We can't wait to see what's next for the two of you and your love story. So yeah, go all the way the fuck off. We love to see it. I just want to thank all of y'all for tuning in again. This was a nice little, I was going to say solo episode, but it's not really a solo episode because I got Miss Harley right here with me, Miss Harley Barley. Yes. But I kind of just wanted to just have this episode to kind of just talk through some of the stuff that's been going on my mind lately. And yeah, and just being a pet parent was just something that I wanted to discuss on the podcast. So I might do another podcast or a podcast episode with somebody who has a dog or a cat, and they can probably bring their pet onto the show, and it'll be a nice little sequel pet episode to this one. But first and foremost, I just want to thank Harley for sitting here the entire, hour just hanging out with us. Yeah, Miss Harley, thank you so much. I know you did not want to get up on this couch, and I had to guide you with the leash. Like the only way she got on this couch was I just had a leash on. I didn't even have to pull her onto the couch. I just had the leash on, and we just walked over to the couch, and she just jumped on. I'm like, oh, so if we had a leash, you'll jump onto the couch, but any other context, you won't. I've tried to get her to sleep in a bed, but she doesn't want like to. She's like, nope, I like my dog bed. I'm not going to sleep in a bed. I'm too scared to jump up there, but it's all good. But yeah, I want to thank you, Miss Harley Barley, for hanging out and, being so good. You're going to get all the treats after this, and, happy birthday again to you, Miss Harley. And I want to thank you listeners for submitting your stories and questions and watching and subscribing. Please leave a 5-star rating wherever it is you listen to this podcast. If we're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, you can listen to Situaseans podcast and take us with you. And if you have any dating stories that you want to talk about, submit it. Situationspodcast.com/submit. We'll take it there. Same thing with any dating app prompts, any prompts that you think are red flags or green flags. If it's hinged or unhinged, it doesn't matter what dating app it is, send your screenshots to the exact same place, situationspodcast.com/submit. And if you have an ick, now, if you got a dating ick, you already know where to find that. It is situationspodcast.com/ick, ICK. So yes, that's where you can submit. And yes, if you're on a boat, on a plane, on a train, a car, if you're out in space, if you are in another dimension, take Situations podcast with you wherever you go. And you can watch whatever you want at your leisure because we are on YouTube. Follow us on social media. We are there as well. It's like you can find Situations podcast no matter where you are. All right. So I just want to say thank you again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to the Patreon if you want to get the receipt, the text receipts and all the goody stuff. That's all at patreon.com/Situations podcast. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will see you all back here for the next episode in a couple of weeks. Woo!